We take you to a gazebo. On her way to the gazebo, Liesel von Trapp decided to practice her human-to-bat transformation. She came to a stop under a big tree, then, after making certain she was unobserved, took a deep breath, closed her eyes, held her nose, and puffed up her cheeks as if she were trying to pop her ears. Nothing. She then bent forward, did a headstand, and recited the Hail Mary backwards. Nothing. She then did 20 push-ups, and they were boy push-ups, mind you. Nothing. She then rolled over on her back and let loose with a wordless scream, and there it was. As her female form became that of an androgynous bat's, Liesel's human roar morphed into a rodent squeak, and the next thing she knew, she was 100 meters above the ground, flying as if she'd been doing so her entire life. She spread her wings as far as she could and executed a perfect barrel roll, and then another, and then another. The speed of her twirls doubled, tripled, and quadrupled until she was all but invisible against the black nighttime tableau. As she floated down towards the gazebo, she heard a rustle in the bushes, so wanting to avoid detection, she touched down near a tree and turned herself human again, a simple and speedy, yet disgusting process that is far too vile to be described here. Suffice it to say, it involved guano. Once rehumanized, Liesel peeked out from behind the tree, hoping to catch a glimpse of whatever or whomever it was that had the temerity to trespass upon the Von Trapp property this late at night. Maybe this could be my first kill, she thought. She heard another rustle, then a crash, then a vaguely effeminate voice whisper, "Watch where you're going, old boy. You're going to kill yourself." Lisa said, "Rolf? Liesel, is that you?" She revealed herself. "It is me, Rolf. I was hoping you would be here. And I just knew you would be here. I just knew it. My heart longs for your touch. And mine yours." She threw her arms around his neck and breathed, "Then touch me, you hot piece of Aryan beef. Touch me where you've always wanted to touch me. Touch me where you have never touched me before." They kissed, but after a few seconds, Rolf pulled away. "You feel different," he said. You taste different." "Do I taste good?" "I suppose." "You like tasting me?" "I suppose." "And you came here to taste me?" "I suppose." "If you were to send me a telegram saying how much you want to taste me, what would it say?" Rolf pulled himself from Liesel's embrace. That's putting me on the spot. Wow, I have no idea where to begin." "You can begin by telling me how beautiful I am, Dunderhead." "Right, okay. Dear Liesel, stop. You are beautiful. Stop." And then he stopped. She stared at the nervous young man. "And that's the best you can do?" I guess not." "Good. Tell me what you think my most attractive feature is." "Oh, okay. Starting again from the top. Dear Liesel, stop. You are beautiful. Stop. Especially your eyes. Stop. They are especially beautiful. Stop." "That's a little bit better. What do you think of my mouth?" "It is the most kissable mouth in all of Austria." "Stop." "And my ears?" They are the prettiest little ears I've ever seen." "Stop." "And my breasts?" Rolf gulped. "I have not seen your breasts, Liesel. You know that." "Do you want to?" she purred. Again he gulped. "Of course." Liesel took Rolf's hand and pulled him towards the gazebo. "I want you to see me in the light," she said, and all Rolf could do was gurgle. After they stepped into the glass enclosure, Liesel gave Rolf a strong shove. Rolf seemed surprised at just how strong it was, and he plopped onto the bench. She said, "Do not take your eyes off me." All Rolf could do was gurgle. She undid one button of her dress, then the next, and so on, until it slid off her body, and all she had on was her bra and underwear. She stepped toward Rolf and said, "Touch me anywhere you want." He said, "Anywhere?" Liesel removed her bra. "Anywhere." It must be noted that in Austria, in the last revolting days of the 30s, it was legal for 16-year-olds who were going on 17 to engage in sexual congress. Not only was it legal, it was encouraged. Rolf stood up, put his arm around her waist, and buried his face in her neck. She said, "I am surprised you did not go for my breast, but this is a good start." Rolf said something that she could not understand, then he began licking her neck. His tongue was thick and strong, and she could not help but grab his throbbing man part. After she gave it a less than gentle tug, he pulled away and asked, "What is that?" Exasperated, Lisa said, "This is me squeezing you, or I thought you might want to be squeezed, Dunderhead." "No," Rolf said. "What is that on your neck?" He touched the spot where Maria had given her the transformative vampire kiss. What? This? Nothing. Probably some acne. Rolf nodded, then grabbed her by the waist, jerked her body into his, and sniffed the tiny red mark. That is not some acne, Liesel. He pushed her away. Do me a favor, he said. Smile. Liesel blinked. Smile? Okay, if you insist. She turned up the corners of her mouth in an approximation of a grin, careful not to reveal her fangs. With a never-before-heard sense of manliness in his voice, Rolf said, Show me your teeth, Liesel. His eyes thinned, his erection softened, and his voice dropped to a menacing whisper. Show me your teeth now. In an attempt to distract him, she said, Did you know in Austria that it's legal for a 16-year-old to fornicate? Even I am 16 going on 17, I am legal. If we get caught making love, we would not be in serious trouble. For that matter, we would be celebrated, so we do not have to wait. I want you to write on my page. I'm on the brink, Rolf, the brink, and I know that you know what I mean by on the brink. Despite what you or others may think, I am not unprepared to face a world of men. Some would have you believe that I am as innocent as a rose, but that is far from the truth. I know things about bachelor dandies and drinkers of brandies that you would not believe. Some might say that I need somebody older and wiser, but trust me, Rolf, I am as wise as any of you. So I say, bring on the eager young cads. Bring on the ruse and the cads. I am canny and I am wise, and I know how to make you feel really, really good. She peeked at his crotch to see if anything had gotten through to him. Nothing. He fixed her with an impassive stare, then whispered, When did you become a vampire, Liesel? Liesel made a split-second decision. She would play dumb. What? A vampire? Me? That's crazy talk. I mean, gosh, I barely even know what a vampire is. Remember, I have no idea what a vampire is. Is it some sort of elected official or a servant? Oh, boy, I do not have a clue. Boy, oh, boy, I am Rolf. Lost, Rolf. Just lost. Rolf repeated, When did you become a vampire? He touched the spot on her neck. I know the vampire kiss, he said. I know the vampire scent. He stepped to her and tried to pry open her lips, then added, I know the vampire teeth. She slapped his hand away. Is that so, Rolf? How do you know all this? He tore off his shirt. Buttons flew everywhere. Pointed at the swastika tattooed above his left nipple and wrote, Private Rolf Mueller, Nazi Undead Squad! He puffed up his chest and sucked in his stomach, and suddenly the Nancy Boy telegram delivery man was a force to be reckoned with. He said, Liesel von Trapp, I condemn you. Oh, no. I welcome you in the name of Adolf Hitler. He held out his hand. Please come with me. You will be taken to an area where you can mingle with others of your kind, and you may have my personal guarantee that you will be safe there. Liesel said, the only others of my kind I want to mingle with are my family. Now let us put on our clothes and go our respective ways. Rolf said, I do not think you understand, Fräulein von Trapp. This is not a request, this is a command. I am prepared to do what needs to be done to get you to Germany. Liesel looked around the gazebo for some kind of weapon, and seeing nothing, she backed towards the exit. This is craziness, Rolf. Go home, now. He leapt around her with blinding speed and blocked the door, then yelled, Do not take another step, Fräulein. If you do, I will not hesitate to use force. Liesel von Trapp felt a surge of something in her stomach, maybe bile, maybe adrenaline, maybe the remnants of the horrible mushroom soup from dinner, and her body began to move of its own accord. She spun on her heel and swiped at Rolf's face, and he leaned away, but not quickly enough. The scratches immediately dripped blood, covering his cheek and his chin. As Rolf screamed, Liesel did a drop roll into his legs, hoping Rolf would fall onto his face, and then she could make herself scarce. Rolf seemed to know what was coming, however. He leapt straight in the air, causing Liesel to roll out of the gazebo and onto the cold ground. Mud caked her naked breasts, her bare stomach, and her strong thighs. With a deadly calm, Rolf said, I have trained with the Undead Squads for 2 years, Liesel, and I am one of their finest students. You cannot escape. I can tell you are a new vampire, and you do not have the strength to win a battle with anybody from the squads. For both of our sakes, come with me. As I said, I promise you safety. She sat up and pulled a clump of dirt from her hair and said, Maybe you're right, Rolf. Maybe I should be with others of my kind. I could learn the ways of the undead. I could be happy. Rolf smiled. That is the spirit, Liesel. I suppose it is. She held out both of her arms. Can you help me up, please? I hurt my leg. Of course, Liesel. He took his hands in his and pulled her to her feet. Thank you, Rolf. But of course, now if you'll, he did not finish the sentence, but you probably would not have been able to do so either if an angry, spurned female vampire kicked you in the stomach with all her might. While Rolf was doubled over, Liesel zipped over to the gazebo and punched its side. The structure shattered and glass flew everywhere. She picked up the biggest shard she could find and held it by Rolf's neck. I do not want to kill you, Rolf, she said, but I will. If you leave, you will leave unharmed, but if you stay, you will die. I have not yet killed, but I know I can. Through gritted teeth, he said, I think not. And then he stood up as if he had never been injured in the first place, knocked the glass out of Liesel's hand and put her in a headlock. Without thinking, Liesel roared, I have confidence in me! Then stomped Rolf's foot as hard as she could, which, now that she had otherworldly vampire powers, was pretty darn hard. Rolf growled and lost his grip on Liesel's neck. She grabbed another piece of glass off the ground and raked it across his bare chest, right through the swastika tattoo, somehow managing to restrain herself from licking up every last drop of the Nazi's sweet, sweet blood. He staggered backwards and crashed headfirst into a tree, then he emitted a tiny grunt and fell face down, unconscious. Liesel sat on the edge of the gazebo, not even feeling the broken glass digging into her backside. She gulped and panted, her naked, mud-coated breasts heaving rhythmically. As she stared sadly at Rolf's unmoving body, she whispered, That's right, Rolf. I have confidence in me. Thank you.